Hi, my name is Rene Meville. I'm the chairman of the Captiva Erosion Prevention District. We build the beach. We've been doing this since 1988, and it's been a phenomenal success. And we like to think we are the kung fu masters of beach renourishment, not only in the state of Florida, but in the entire nation. If we didn't have it, the houses here would probably be suggestions with pilings exposed. There would be no beach, and the reason we do it is to maintain and build what was once here 60 years ago before Hurricane Donna took it all away.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tony Loppe. I'm President and CEO of Sanibel Captiva Beach Resorts. We've been the ownership of Twin Waters Inn since 1976. When I got here, the beach was somewhat shaky. We had dog bones that went along to try to help hold the beach. But as time went on in the mid-80s, we had a storm, and what beach was there was kind of washed away completely. Matter of fact, the road behind me was washed away to the point where traffic could no longer pass it.
Chris Pomfret, I'm a senior project manager for Great Lakes Dredge and Dock. I've been with Great Lakes for 30 years this year. It's a pleasure to be working with CEPD and SCCF and the rest of the team here for the Captiva Renourishment project. We have the opportunity to work with the team to put just over 800,000 cubic yards of sand across the whole footprint of the island. And in some places we're filling almost 100 foot of dune and also planting that dune as well with sea oats and a mixture of local native plants. So in the end you have a nice infrastructure for protection of both property and also for turtle habitat, which is obviously a big thing.
Beach erosion is a problem affecting sea turtles, and sand placement projects like what happened on Captiva obviously benefit sea turtles by adding sandy nesting habitat. So we were actually able to launch a research project last year looking at how certain sand characteristics and environmental parameters might affect hatch success. Before the beach renourishment project started, we were able to relocate 127 nests, and there were about 12,000 eggs in those nests, and they produced just under 5,000 hatchlings.
I've been working on this project for over 15 years, and as a senior marine biologist, I permit projects. I work with agencies to consider environmental impacts to projects and get permits to construct coastal projects. And so in order to do that, we compiled all the information about Captiva's unique wildlife, your habitats, your species, present that to the agencies, and we work together to develop really important environmental protection conditions. And so in the case of Captiva's projects, we have protections for nesting and swimming marine sea turtles. We have protections for breeding and overwintering shorebirds, manatees, small-toothed sawfish, and it was a real pleasure to work as a team on this to ensure the permit compliance and environmental protections.
So the main thing that we do pre-project is obviously we have a lot of engineering studies that determine how much sand we'll need to put on the beach, how far eroded is our beach. We are considered by the state of Florida a critically eroded shoreline.
So Captiva holds active permits to renourish their beaches so they can perform routine renourishment projects like this one. The last project was conducted in 2013, and it typically has an 8 to 10 year renourishment cycle. So during that time, beaches naturally erode. They get hit by tropical storms such as Tropical Storm Eta, which did erode the dunes. So we came in and restored the beach. So where we're standing now, sometimes the water was lapping at the edge of the dune. So we came in here with the dredge to renourish it to its current condition.
So the process of beach nourishment actually begins years in advance of the actual nourishment project that everybody visibly sees. Samples are taken from borrow areas that are approximately 6 miles offshore. They analyze the sand to make sure it's consistent with what's on the beach, where size, color, texture, shells, and once they determine the borrow area is sufficient, then they begin the process of evaluating how much sand the beach actually needs. So they'll do surveys prior to this to approximate the amount of sand to bring in. Once that happens, we put the project out to bid with certain specs and requirements. This project, we estimated that we needed roughly 800,000 cubic yards of sand. So this is a 4.85 mile beach. So we're spreading that 800,000 cubic yards of sand along the beach. We're constructing a 20-foot dune crest all along, and we're including 350,000 dune plantings.
So the process that we go through is, on this case, on this project, we're using 2 hopper dredges.
And they go to a borrow area that's 6 miles offshore, and it essentially sucks the sand off the seafloor. And then the dredge sails to the connection site, which is right behind me.
And they attach to a booster through a pipe, which is an extensive pipeline. That's the point where the force comes from. And it shoots it out onto the beach at one of these pipelines that you can see behind me. And from there, the bulldozers will sculpt and mold the beach to the specs of the engineers.
And then we grade it to make sure it's nice and flat for everyone to use, and then it's ready for everyone to come out and enjoy.
The Captiva Beach restoration had a small impact on business temporarily, but in the long run, the pros drastically outweigh the cons. The beach is now 400 feet to the water. There's room for everybody to spread out. There's room for, you can play volleyball, you can play catch. Before there was 15 feet of beach and your feet were in the water, there wasn't enough room for people to put their chairs and towels down. Now it's going to attract more people, there'll be more people down there, brings more business to us. And it's just a beautiful beach. The sand looks perfect. They took the right sand from the right place.
So actually, we have been building our land, growing the island, and creating like so many more turtle nests. The sea life is just exquisite. There is no downside to beach renourishment.
With the efforts of all the citizens that we have here on Captiva that have bonded together to make this program work, you see the results. It's just phenomenal, and it's obviously been great for our business, because when we didn't have a beach, we suffered, and now everybody's basically reaping the rewards of a great beach.
And so on a final note, the CEPD tries very hard to make the cost to the actual islanders as least as possible. We work very hard at that. We do what we can. There's always competition for funds. We seek grants. We get assistance from Lee County. We get assistance from the state. We're working on getting back our assistance that was a major amount from the feds, AKA the Army Corps of Engineers. And we're working on it, and each time we do a better job. And I'm just proud to be the guy who was this job.
And I could not believe how much more beautiful the beach is. It was well worth what we paid in our assessments.
We've been coming 5 or 6 years, and we come here because it's one of the best beaches that we travel to.
It has captured our hearts, our souls. It's just a place to rejuvenate our souls.
The beach is so beautiful, and it has shells, and you can hear the waves slapping upon it, and it's simply paradise.